Hi kids, and welcome back to the art room. I hope you enjoyed doing your spring still life. I would absolutely love to see the results, and I enjoyed doing it. Today we are going to be doing a landscape, and I'm going to be showing you how to go about doing that. There has to be a foreground, a background, and a midground. But in the meantime, before I explain, get your paper ready, and it should be landscape format, which is horizontal. And all the other thing we will need is a pencil and an eraser. Later on, you could outline with marker and color it with colored pencils, crayons, Sharpies, or even paint if you have that at home. But for right now, get your paper ready and we're going to begin. So that is the landscape that we are going to be learning how to draw. Have a look at it. We have our foreground here, our middle ground here, and our background at the top. The things in front are really big and the things behind are really small, like those tiny trees up on the mountain. So, getting myself ready, and let's begin. I'd like you to start by putting your signature over here so we don't forget the date you made this painting, which will one day be famous. And we're going to start around about the middle of the page, and we're going to make a low hill, and then coming from that direction, another low hill. I'll wait for you. If you've completed that, those two hills, that is the midground that we are going to be finishing. Now we are going to be doing the background, which is the mountains far away. So we're going to go up and do some nice high mountains. You can do as many as you like. Don't make them too pointed, as mountains are all different shapes. They're not all the same. Each one is different. So I've got my mountains, and I'll wait for you to catch up with your mountains. Now we are ready to put in the foreground. And the first thing I'm going to do is put in the river. Now, you never draw a river going straight down or straight up, because that will look like it's standing up vertically. What we really want to do is get the river to lay down. So we're going to draw it like a snake. It starts here, right where these two hills meet, and it comes through the mountains and waves and waves and waves. And it starts off very little, and then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker as it comes closer towards us. I'll wait for you to do your river. I'm actually changing mine a little bit. I'm going to change mine to be more pointy there. You can change yours if you don't like it too. Draw lightly so it's easy to erase it. So we've got our river laying down, and it gets wider and wider as it comes towards us. And now the next thing we're going to do is make our tree. So starting on the bottom above the signature, I'm going to just do a couple of rocks. They can be any shape, but they should have flat bottoms to put them on the ground. In fact, we can take some all the way to the river. Wait for you to catch up. Right, the next thing is the tall tree up here, the nice tall tree. And because we're right next to the tree, it's going to be the biggest thing in the picture, because it's going to be tall. It's going to go right from the back of the rocks, a wiggly line, up, up, up. let's make the tree trunk. I'm making the tree trunk now. It's going to have a little piece coming out the side and maybe some roots at the bottom. Always erase what's behind the trees overlapping the landscape. So here I have the base of the tree trunk. And now we're going to make some branches. So we're going to take this one out and that one out. And then that is like a V shape. And now we're going to turn it into a Y shape. Actually, I'm going to make another Y shape there with another V shape inside it. Here's another Y shape with another V shape inside it. So I'll wait for you to do those. We have done V's and Y's before. It's okay if your tree goes right off the page because it's really tall. Trees are really tall. Here I go again. I'm dividing this one into a Y and a V, and this one into a Y and a V. Maybe I'll add an extra little branch here and an extra little branch coming out the side. Where they connect, you always want to erase. And maybe one more, closer to the bottom. A Y with a V inside it. Erase the join. Okay, we are ready. I'll wait for you to finish your tree. No two trees are the same. Every single tree is unique and different. So yours will not look like mine, and mine will not look like the one I did earlier. Okay, so to give the idea or the impression of leaves, we're not going to draw individual leaves. We're just going to do wobbly, wiggly shapes around the branches to show that there are leaves in the tree, but we're not seeing each and every one of them. We're just showing a bunch of leaves together that can be green later. Let me do another one here. Very wiggly, wobbly shapes. Yeah, do an extra layer here of wiggly leaves. So I'll wait for you to complete your tree with some wiggly, wobbly shapes. Okay, now we are ready. Now in the middle ground, which is the in-between part, I think I'm going to make my middle ground a little lower. I'm going to make this bush. So it's a taller tree, but not very, very big. So once again, wiggly lines, wobbly lines. It's sort of like Van Gogh's tree in his Starry Night picture. And it may be a little bush next to it. So now the trees are further away and they're getting a little smaller. I'm going to add another layer here, because now I'm going to make some tiny trees, tiny little trees on top of the mountain far, far away. I'll wait for you to catch up. Maybe there's another few over here. These could be little pine trees, but really tiny because they're really, really, really far. Remember, no overlapping. And now we're going to finish doing the river. So, in the river, let's do a couple more rocks and stones. Maybe this could be a big rock sitting here and another one here. Remember, I always say at the bottoms of the rocks, they could be all different shapes, but the bottoms must be flat. A couple of pebbles here. Maybe one more. So now I've got some rocks on either side of the river. And I'll wait for you to draw your rocks. This is going to be another hill. Doesn't matter how many hills or mountains you have. You can put a lot or you can put a few. Right. Now we are going to make some cattails. Cattails are grasses that are very long and thin. And then they have what looks like hot dogs on the top of them. So I'm going to do 1, 2, maybe 1 crossing over. That could be interesting. 3 cattails. And then lots of long grass. They have very long grasses. And actually you could make one of the grasses bending over too, like this. So we have our cattails, maybe another rock or some sand. Maybe we could have a rock right in the middle of the water, like that, if you want. Okay, we'll do a couple more bushes growing on the hillside. Also just bumpy, wiggly lines. And now I'm going to show you how to make the bark on the tree. So what you do is you start in the middle and you do a wiggly oval, up and down and up and down and up and down and up. And you just keep following those lines and start another one here. And those lines start to look like the bark of a tree. So you can just make lots of wiggly lines up the bark of the tree. I'll wait for you to finish your tree. Do you notice how the river gets from thin, thicker, 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 thicker as it comes towards us? Okay, last thing. We could do some more grasses around the tree. Maybe some growing on the edge of the river over here. Some little teeny ones back here. Remember, they get smaller and smaller as they get further away. And then we're going to put in the clouds. So I'll wait for you to do a couple grasses. Strange rock. More rocky. Okay, now we'll do a few clouds floating in the sky. Oops. Sorry, kids. I dropped the camera. So the base of the clouds is flat, and then the tops are puffy. 1, 2, I'm just going to do 3 little puffy clouds in the sky. But you could do more if you want. And if you wanted, you could do a sunset. But you do not have to do the sunset. So I'll wait for you to catch up with your sunset. And now I'm going to get a marker and go over everything so that you can see it clearly. So I'm going to start with my mountains, my mid-ground, hills actually. The mountains are these ones up here. Remember, don't go in front of the tree. They always have to go behind the tree. Stop when you get to the branches or to the leaves. Now I'm doing my hills. Now I'm going to do my little teeny baby trees at the top. It's better to work from the top down so you don't get the marker all over your arm, your hands. So I should have really started with the clouds, shouldn't I have this there at the very top? And my sun. Now I'm going to do the other little trees on the hill. Just lots of bumpy lines. They're just giving the impression of being leafy bushes and trees. Now I'll do these other big ones. I'll wait for you to catch up with your Sharpie. If you do not want to outline with your Sharpie, that's okay too. You could just do it in pencil and then color it without it being outlined. But I'm outlining it so that you can see it well. Okay, here comes my tree, leaf, branches. Lots of wiggly lines. And outline my whole tree. Oops. Okay, I'll wait for you. And forget the roots sticking out the bottom of the tree. Rocks. You can leave out anything. If you don't want to do rocks, that's fine. Don't do them. If you want to add other things, like a little house on the hill or a sheep on the hill, that's fine too. You could do that. If you want to make a rainbow instead of clouds or a stormy sky, you can do that too. Or you can make it like a nighttime scene. Make it dark. Right, let me finish the rest of my leaves here. Very wobbly, very wiggly. The wigglier, the wobblier, the better. It'll look more and more like leaves, like bunches of leaves in the tree. Okay, now we're going to finish the river. Very, very skinny on top. And then get bigger. Stop if there's a rock in the way, and then get bigger. I'll wait for you. It's a lot to do. Also, your landscape does not have to be realistic. If you want, instead of painting everything green, and you want to make purple mountains and orange water and spotted hills, you can do that too. That's what's so great about art. There's so much freedom for your creativity. Okay, I'm finishing my other rocks on this side. And I'm making my cattails. So as I'm drawing, I'm not necessarily going over exactly what I did before. I'm just doing what feels natural and right. Some grasses there, some little grasses here. Some more over here, or reeds. Maybe you could make a frog on your rock if you wanted to. Some more grass around the tree. I'll let you catch up. And now I'm going to make all those wobbly, wiggly lines in the branches to look like bark, up and down. Long, pointy shapes, up and down. All right, I'm happy with my landscape, but I'm going to quickly erase now all the pencil lines. I drew my pencil lines a little dark. You should try and draw yours much lighter. So when you erase, it's not so messy like mine is. Right, not everything, but almost everything is erased. You can continue doing that. And that's it. That's our beautiful landscape. I'm dying to see the completed landscapes. Please email me or get your parents to email me on my Gmail account with your pictures. So I hope you enjoy that, and I can't wait to see the finished products. See you next week. Bye.